choose art, you can pursue that as a career and make money out of and have a living out of it. We normally say that they die alone in penniless. We actually conduct workshops, events and sell art.
So what is your routine as an entrepreneur? You're owning the project. So as an owner of the company, your daily routine?
I actually follow a bunch of different routines.
We have a very precious gift with us, a very smart, bold women entrepreneur, Shilpa, and she is owning a space project run by her. Hi Shilpa, welcome to the World Web Ideas. Can you brief about your background, or can you tell us more about yourself, who you are, your family, your hometown, where you are based from?
Sure. So my name is Shilpa and I was born and brought up in Trivandrum. I studied in Arya Central School at Trivandrum all through my life, and then I went to CET, College of Engineering Trivandrum, did my civil engineering there, and I started this venture in my final year of college with my friends. My parents are also based out of Trivandrum. My brother has a startup of his own and he's based out of Bangalore, and he helped me with the venture, he helped me finance it and everything. So this is basically my house space, and my parents gave me a portion of the house and asked me to do whatever I want with it basically. And I had my friends, they came over, they helped me do that entire thing except for the structure and the electrician plumbing stuff. Everything else you see at space was done by students mostly, like all the paintings here, every single architecture design and interior design, everything was done by students and my friends. So that's how space came to be. And my story is basically very simple. I was in school. I don't think I had a particular talent. I wasn't talented in any conventional ways. Like I don't sing, I don't dance, and not talented in a particular conventional way. But when I went to college I had a lot many options, especially because it's a government college. Everything we do ourselves. Like you can do anything you want and no objections. So it gave me a huge experience and exposure to it. So when I went to Bangalore, there were lots of events, workshops going on, and I enjoyed being there, meeting people, and having conversations on a level which I was not used to. So I wanted to bring this to Trivandrum. That's when I started this venture as such. We wanted to give a platform to artists who were not represented before this venture came into the town. Like all the artists we feature or we give a stage to are not people who you see on a regular basis.
Okay, well then what is actually the space really means, and what are the objectives of your this space venture?
The vision is basically creating 100,000 artpreneurs. Artpreneurs is basically an artist who's an entrepreneur. Like when you say an artist, we normally say that they die alone and penniless. That is something we wanted to change. Everybody keeps art as a hobby and not something they pursue as a career. So even when they're stuck in a bank job, they try to doodle on the side and it doesn't go with them. They're battling with themselves. So this is the battle we want to change and show that even if you choose art, you can pursue that as a career and make money out of and have a living out of it. So that is the goal of space.
So you're giving space to the artist and they can come and perform here,
yeah,
and you will give the space.
Yeah, we give the space. Like we actually conduct workshops, events and sell art. Okay. So for workshops, we do everything else such that the artist comes here, performs, shares his skill and kind of monetize the skill as well. And events is basically anybody can come and perform. We'll bring all the people. If you have a skill, say you dance, you want to do a performance, you just come and tell me. I'll give you a stage and I'll give you the audience. So that's how events work. Selling art, we do through all online platforms, Amazon, Flipkart, etc.
Okay. So who is the real support from your family or your friends?
Well, I would say my real support is family first and friends second. Like family gave me the venue itself. My brother is supporting financially the venue. And my friends are the real people who were here and helped out on every stage of the things. Like we started out as a team of 4 people. Me, Grishma, Siddharth and Adnan. But right now it's just me and my a new bunch of people who are young kids from college is supporting us. So like yeah, we keep on changing the team because after college you do get placements and stuff.
Is there any investors in this venture?
No
This is
investors.
actually a little bit a crucial question, but still I want to ask because you are a women entrepreneur and you are going to inspire so many other women entrepreneurs. So this is a crucial question I have to ask. So is there any stake part or
No investor stake because this is a bootstrap startup. Means me, my family, everybody has put in money. So no investor as such. I would call my brother an investor because he's putting on.
Okay. As a women entrepreneur, because you traveled from your student age to entrepreneurial stage, what are the challenges you faced as a woman in the society? Because it is very hectic and it is a Herculean task to survive in the society as a women entrepreneur. Because especially it is a term women is there, it is very very difficult to survive. So what are the challenges you faced in your early stage and also right now in your entrepreneurial life?
I am somebody who likes to turn challenges to opportunities. So like initially when I started doing events, I don't have a venue itself. So I used to go to cafes and pitch my this is what I'm doing, we'll bring you events and stuff like that. They were not very receptive about it. It's not a common idea in the city. But because they thought I was a woman and kind of underestimated me, they were more than willing to let me in. So that is how they were underestimating in a lot of ways. But when I did prove my worth, they were more than willing. Now I get a lot of calls to come and do events there. So I have had a growth from that stage. And as a student, you have both pluses and minuses. Like when you we have a lot of friends to help you around. Like I want an event here today and I need 10-15 people to attend the event. I can call like 5 colleges and I'll have this many people showing up for the event. But as a student, you go and pitch your idea to somebody, they might be very hesitant about the idea and think you are not mature enough, you're just coming with a childish idea. It has changed. As a woman entrepreneur, I go and tell them I'm doing this. They do listen to my idea more than as a student. And actually there are a lot of scholarships and opportunities for students as well. Like colleges have their entrepreneurship development cell and you have a lot more opportunities for students. They're opening up because of the government regulations and so on. And same with women. So I get the benefit of both, I guess. And yeah, so as the biggest challenge as a woman entrepreneur I faced was when I went for startup meets. You go for a regular startup meet, there might be 3,000 men and 10 women. And same, everywhere you go, you have been to Huddle, Kerala, went to a lot of startup meets and investor meets in Bangalore and handful of them. And you feel very sad about it. I was working with another woman entrepreneur recently and her goal is to bring the 1%, like on the top scale of any businesses, the CEO level, you have very few women. It's said like 1%. So she wants to bring the 1% to 5%. I guess I resonate with her goal very much. Very few women are in the top. And it's something which affects you. Whenever you go, you stand out because you're a woman. That doesn't feel very good.
So as a tail to your answer, who really inspired you to come into this entrepreneurial sector?
Actually, my brother.
That's a good line answer. But other than brother, outside your family, is there anybody who you want to follow their
path? Well, actually, I have always been into entrepreneurship because I wanted to do something for myself and make a name for me. And inspirations come from many ways. Mostly Steve Jobs, Sundar Pichai, and Indians who made it on a global scale as well. Indra Nui, CEOs of the world.
And is there any special liking to meet somebody as a women entrepreneur?
I wouldn't say I have somebody who's alive. I want to meet. It's mostly Steve Jobs, APJ Abdul Kalam, and people who are no more who I take as my inspirations and role models.
Shilpa, can you give some message to the young entrepreneurs who really wants to thrive to the entrepreneurial life? So because you travel from student to entrepreneur, so can you give a good message to those who have a mental block in them to come out from the shell to an entrepreneurial life? So for that, can you give some message to the young people?
The biggest step you take is basically the first step. And most people, when you're students, you think maybe after my studies, after all of this, you keep moving to the next phase. But thing is, the easiest or the best place to start is when you're a student, because you don't have a lot of risk. The risks are lesser compared to when you're 30, when you're 40, and you don't have a lot of responsibilities or obligations. And the best place to start is as a student. And the biggest quality you need is the power of ask, I would say. Because when you ask, people do actually help. Because like the alchemist says, the universe conspires to help you. You should want that thing that passionately, and you should truly believe in that to get it through. So you ask people and they'll certainly say yes. Maybe you'll have to ask 10 people or 100 people, but you will certainly get help. So the important thing was to ask and take the first step. It's a bold move, but if you can take that move, you'll keep walking. It's as simple as that.
And one more question from our side. What is the main thing which you expect from, because you are working as a team in space. So what is the main attitude that you expect from your team?
To survive an entrepreneurial journey, any journey, it is that you have to believe in the cause and the vision of this. Like you come to space for a 2-month internship, you might be okay. But if you truly believe that we are here to do something bigger than themselves, they'll stay. If they believe in the cause, they'll be a better person. And anything you do, you start a cafe, you have to feel passionately about food and know all about it. Same thing with what we are doing. You feel passionately about art, any form of art, and you want to be part of this community, you can join us. But unless you don't feel that kind of love or passion towards anything we're doing, you'll not survive that. I guess it's true for any business or any even education that you do. As a civil engineer, I knew I was not passionate about my subject, but I love doing this. There are days when you're lonely, there are days when you're totally broke, but it keeps going because at the end of this, there is something you truly want.
Okay, and to spice up the discussion, what is your routine? This is actually a very instant question that came into the mind, because so many people will search that what is CEO, the routine of a CEO, or routine of the owner of the company. So many people search that topic. So what is your routine as an entrepreneur? You are owning the project. So as an owner of the company, your daily routine.
I also search for routines. I actually follow a bunch of different routines. But I don't have a strict routine, I'm not a routine person. But I would say I try to wake up as early as I can. Or if I don't do that, the maximum amount of sleep I get is 5 to 6 hours. And I try to have like 6 to 8 hours of, revenue earning productivity. Not just productivity, because every day you sit in front of a computer and you think that doesn't give you anything. So I try to put 6 hours where I do get something back. And same, and at least 2 to 3 hours I spend with my family and friends, and 3 hours mostly for calls and talking to people, my customers and my users. So that's pretty much the routine.
Shilpa, can you share your experiences while interacting with people? What do you feel while interacting with different types of people?
Well, as an event and artist manager, this is what I do most: interact with people. And like you asked me previously, who's the person you really wanted to meet? I wanted to meet a lot of artists when I started this. So there was this artist called, we call them Lilo Roche, because it's Lilo and Roshan. And I actually just sent them an Instagram message, and I don't even think they would respond, but they responded. And when they did come to Trivandrum, they came and talked to us, and they're very friendly and very supportive. This was even before space was existing. So people like them gave us an inspiration to start and actually do things. Then when you start interacting with people and during the events, I guess I feel North Indians have more acceptance towards space than people here. Here they're just starting to recognize and get the idea into their heads, I guess. So even now, stand-up comedy, if we have 4 events, I guess we have around 200 participants, at least 100, 150 of them are North Indians, even in Trivandrum. And openness, I guess I would say actually Trivandrum cafes and honors are more open to the idea than in Bangalore. Because Bangalore they have events in this happening left and right. Here it's a new idea and they are also opening up and they also want to do something back to their city and make the city happen.
They want to at least experience
Yes.
what is happening.
Yes, so they want to be part of this happening city or make this Trivandrum happening.
So you have a better experience in Trivandrum.
When I'm talking to cafe owners, basically when I'm going to ask somebody to host an event or come to us as a speaker, I have better experience in Trivandrum than in Bangalore. But the attendees, I would say, like you host an event in Bangalore, you'll have at least thrice as many attendees than in Trivandrum. Because the awareness is less. There you post an event, hundreds to thousands people will know and at least you'll get 50 inquiries back. Here it's the proportions don't remain.
So we had not much we heard from you. It is a very good experience that we get more ideas and we get more comments from your side as an entrepreneur. And you have a very good takeaway. The young entrepreneurs, especially the women entrepreneurs, are very good takeaway from you because you travel to various sectors in your life. So much we are as a part of the World Women News team, and we thank Shilpa for having a wonderful time with us.
I would thank you for this opportunity and pleasure. Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification.